most people are only thinking about themselves, even when they're watching you.
Yeah.
They're watching you, not sometimes always like, they're not really thinking about what you're saying. They're in their head thinking, would I say that? Would I do that? Welcome to A Village in Progress. I'm your host, Alexis. Village in Progress is a weekly call between friends practicing meaningful connection in a world increasingly shaped by technology and AI. Each week, we'll share stories and insights from decades of friendship and explore the rituals and habits that have helped them thrive. We'll talk about the importance of the friendships we have and the ones we hope to build in the future. Hey, it's Lex. Hope you're having a great day. Give me a call when you can. Bye. Let's start.
Yeah, let's do
Hi.
it. Hi again.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
So this is another after show episode. I really am very appreciative of my friends and my family who came on the podcast during the first season to share their thoughts with me and to have these conversations. And I know that for a lot of my friends, they said yes, like right away. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards we're like, oh, I just didn't really like fully think about people seeing the conversation. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you for being willing to come on, even if you didn't really know what you were saying yes to. I really, really appreciate that. But what was because you were someone who I asked and you were like, yes, of course. Like, of course I'll come on. But what was were you nervous at all before you came on the show or before we did the recording?
Definitely. Like, I'm not a public speaker. I don't like being recorded. But I think just saying yes, because like, I love you, you know, you're my family, you're my friend. So I'm like, yeah, I want to support you and do this with you. So that was my first instinct. And then later was all like, oh gosh, like, yeah, I'll be on camera and stuff. But like you said, like our conversations privately are basically like this, so it wasn't much of a difference except with the camera lighting.
Except for then anybody who wanted to could listen to it, and it was up on YouTube for everybody to see.
That too. I try not to think about that too much.
Yeah. I think I tried to tell everybody like it will be on video and all these things, but I know my friend Amber was like, I just didn't really think about it. And you and I, just like you and me, like talk so freely and comfortable that it did just feel like we were catching up. But then I sent people the episode before just so that they could see it. And then I think that's when a lot of the nerves started setting in, like, oh shit, like people are going to see this.
Right.
And, when we're talking, it's like we say something and then it leaves our brain. So I don't even remember until I go to like edit them what we even spoke about half the time. I'm like, oh, we said this. And I try really hard not to edit the actual content of the video. Yeah. There's only one time where I took out a story where I thought, ooh, like, I don't know if I want to share that. And that was it. Everything else has been like left in. So
that's funny. Everyone's asked me that. They're like, oh, was that the full conversation? I'm like, yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
There's only one story that I told with my friend Ian that I cut out because I thought, oh, that's even more of a bad look than all the other things that I shared. And maybe that's for some other content down the road. Like that's for something else. But other than that, I really tried to keep everything in and keep the conversation just as it was. So I think a lot of people, did you forget what we even talked about?
Yeah, I definitely forgot. But it's so funny because like when I was recording afterwards, I'm like, oh, like, I really said that, or like, I don't know, like I cringe and like, oh, it's gonna come off weird. And I watched it, I'm like, oh, it was totally fine. I was so overthinking it. I think we just get in our heads a bit, and I thought to myself, like, you know what, like this is me. Like if people want to watch, they want to watch. If not, like, it is what it is. So I think that helped with the nerves of just being myself.
I think that's a really good approach to have because my friend Jen had asked me, like, aren't you afraid, or how did you feel putting yourself out there and doing this? And I really have to say that I have just really learned over the years that, especially I put myself out there a lot when I did real estate and I was in real estate coaching. I did a lot of things and role played and did a lot of things publicly that a lot of people were just too embarrassed to do. And mostly it's because I realized that most people are only thinking about themselves, even when they're watching you.
Yeah.
They're watching you, not sometimes always like, they're not really thinking about what you're saying. They're in their head thinking, would I say that? Would I do that? Would I ever go on and do that? So even when they're watching you, they're thinking about how that experience compares to themselves.
Right.
And so most people are not thinking, oh, what was Roya wearing? Or how did she look? Or when did she say that? Or why did she say that? They're thinking about themselves in comparison to you.
Right. Because I'm thinking that about myself. Yeah. So
right. You're comparing your now self to your then self.
Yeah.
So I think if we understand that by human nature, most people are just not going to even remember most of the things that other people said and did. Because they're really just thinking about themselves.
Right.
Then we should just put ourselves out there. And I think that for my friends, especially in this first season, really diving into my immediate and close village, like my personal village, you know, I think that this is sort of a cool like time capsule. And I was thinking, I saw, you know, Mother's Day is coming up. And so I keep seeing all these ads for these books where moms like write their stories in them or things that were important to them so that when their kids are older, they can look back and be like, oh, what was my mom into? And I feel like Lucy is now going to have these videos to watch and see like, what was my mom like as a friend? Or what was my mom like, you know, in this time of her life? And what did her and her friends connect on and talk about? And so I think that's really cool.
It really is. I didn't think of it that way.
You know, she'll be able to like look at that, and any of my friends' kids or any of my friends' families will be able to look back and be like, oh, that's who you were at that time in your life.
That's true.
You
Very
know,
true.
So I think that's kind of,
or my future kids.
Yeah, your future kids. You're going to be like, you know, I did this podcast like back in the day. So I think that's, you know, pretty cool. And I think if we just take it as really celebrating this time in our life, then hopefully we won't be too embarrassed.
I totally agree. And I think people are doing way more embarrassing things out there.
Shit, right? I think so. I think this is like pretty low-key.
Very tame.
Yeah. I think one of the funnier things in our episode that I just still think about as being funny, especially as it's evolved, is like the family gaming.
Yeah.
And how we game as a family.
Yes.
And how I've started creating like WoW characters for myself that I'm slowly working on just to figure out the game. And Lucy's now like, we're playing Mario Party as a family.
Yeah.
Because the Mario movies came out and she was really into that. And so it's just kind of funny how I think if anybody knew me from before, like I've never been into video games.
Right.
But I think that's such a cool little aspect that we have. And I was actually thinking, I can't wait. I keep telling Lucy, like, Uncle Jake and Aunt Roya can come over and we can all play Mario Party together. And she's like, yeah,
we can.
And she would totally play with you guys. And I think that that would be, we should probably plan like a fun family game night.
Yeah. I think it's so sweet she's into gaming. It's like an Andrew's tradition now. Like
Yeah.
Everyone, all the different games we've been playing. It's super fun.
Yeah, I think that's cool for her little brain to figure out. She likes to poison people with the poison mushrooms. She's super into that.
She loves potions.
She loves potions, witches, and poison mushrooms. I mean, she's like really into that. So, but I thought that was a really fun aspect of, and even Lee's mom games.
Yeah.
So
I think that's where they kind of got that as a family. Like she introduced them to games really, you know, young, and then from there they just got their computers and.
Shout out to Chris, who's also a big major fan of the show, but also has a Switch. And the boy Lee always laughs. He's like, if we can't get my mom, she's playing Zelda like in her room and she's not. Her phone's off.
She was.
And so I think that's funny, but it's really nice too, because her and Lucy, when she watches Lucy, they and Lucy wants to play a video game or talk about the video games and watch them. Chris like knows about them. Whereas my mom would have no idea.
Right.
Like no clue.
Like Mario who?
Chris's mind works in that gaming way too. So I think that that's a cute connection that they'll have as they get older. They could play like on the
with
Switch.
their grandma. I love that.
So I think that's funny. We also in our episode talked a lot about your parents. Did they watch?
Yes,
Or listen?
they both were very proud, of course. And I think it was really funny. My dad texted me, he's like, I want what you had for breakfast that morning. Like you came across so well and stuff. And he's like, I feel like I got to know you, much better as like my daughter. And I'm
It's
like,
really cool.
but dad, like everything I said, like I've said to you before. And he's like, I know, but it's like a different light when you're being recorded and all this stuff.
Well, he's watching you as somebody, like maybe he's able to sort of separate like the daughter, or when you come to the house, or when you're talking to them.
That's true. I guess I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, I mean, they loved it. They will love Lee's episode as well. Yeah, like the whole origin story.
It's just so cool, I think, how you and I have such a good connection and have from the start. Like we really have from the beginning. But to know how much our families, like your family, was integral in bringing about, what I have now as a family, and how we're all connected in that, and how you and Jake have known each other since kindergarten, and I think that's very cool. And maybe that is why we have this sort of feeling of being really tight knit, or just really comfortable with each other.
And I think our cultures too, like we're very about family and like good food and like the Italian and Jewish, the Persian, like I think all that was a common really theme with all of us. Yeah. So that's why we all kind of like ease into our family dynamics pretty well, I would say.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you get any feedback from friends, or did any of your friends like watch the show or listen to the podcast?
Of course, Peyton, she's our number one fan, both of ours. So she left such a sweet comment on the video, just really diving into the episode. And
I got a notification that we had a comment, because we don't get that much engagement yet. But if you're watching and listening, feel free to comment and I will get right back to you. Keep it kind. And it was very long. And I thought, whoa, okay, I'm going to read this, and then I'm not going to respond right away, because I wanted to respond in kind to her message. Yeah. That was very thoughtful, and you could tell that she listened and really took in what was being said. Yeah. Which is very Peyton of her.
Very, very. And that's the bane of our friendship. Like we can talk for hours about everything. So I think that was really sweet that she was waiting for it to come out. She's waiting for this one to come out. Yeah. My cousin from Germany watched. She really loved it.
Sweet too.
My friend Grace, she watched it too, and she was laughing about the cat comments about how we're both cats. She's like, that's so true. I mean, so many. And my friend Alia recently reached out and she said she watched it and she really loved it and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, I have to say that you have been a big fan of all of the other episodes, and I think what's really cool about you is that you have sort of taken the mission and the message. I'm combining all my words today. Of the podcast, and after a new podcast episode would come out, Roya would call me. She'd be like, I would normally text you, but I feel like the whole point of this whole thing is to pick up the phone and call. So I'm going to call you and tell you what I liked about the episode. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Because we do talk a lot, but we wouldn't necessarily call each other for that. So I thought it was very fitting and very nice. Yeah. To have those conversations and to know that you were listening and watching to all of them, not just your own. Did you actually watch yours?
Yeah.
Oh, I think a lot of my friends watched like the beginning of theirs and then they stopped. They were like, I can't take it. I can't take listening and watching.
It's not like an ego thing. I was curious what I said. Yeah. I really was like, what was going on that day in my head?
Well, you watched all of them. So that's what I mean. I think, so I thank you also for that, for support. I think you and Chris and Kim.
Yeah. Kim, her messages to us that day came out. She sent us really sweet messages and said we worked really well as a team together, and I agreed. And it was she made an Instagram post. It was sweet.
It was very sweet. And actually, the day that she texted us, you and I had been on the phone that morning, or maybe it was the day before, talking about new things we could like create with dinner parties and different networking events and different community events. So it was funny that she said that, because in her text to us, I think she said something about, you guys should really work together on something. And it was funny because I thought we've already been plotting like different things
That's
and
sweet.
planning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the feedback that a lot of my friends have gotten have been really heartfelt and
Yeah.
really from a good place. And so I'm glad that that was the experience. I
Yeah.
don't think.
And even like with watching your episodes with your friends, like I feel like I've gone to know you better, that like the first half of your life that I've heard so many stories that kind of like put into fruition when I was seeing it when you talked about it with your friends. So it was cool to hear all
Yeah.
your experiences and how much they love you. Cause like I know how much we love you on our side. So it was really refreshing to hear that, you know, from their
Yeah.
end too.
Well, I think my friend Ian said the same thing. He said, you know, I know you from this era of our life, but it was really nice to know who your friends are now
Yeah.
and to see that you really are the same person, not like as wild, but you know, really the same person, and
Yeah.
to see how deep your friendships are now. And so he was actually like, you know, if we all got together, would we have a good time? And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, of course.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course we would. And so that got me thinking too. So next summer, I'm trying to get the season 1 villagers together on a group
Right.
trip, like rent an Airbnb or do something where we can get together for like a long weekend somewhere nice
Yeah.
and just have like past, present, all get together.
I'd love to meet them.
To hang out. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think at the root of it, we all value the same things. We're all good people. We all like to have fun and keep things, you know, respectful and just have a good time. And we all can be goofy. So I think that would be a really, really good time.
That's so fun. I hope it's in Sedona. That would be
beautiful,
really
right? I
fun.
can picture us at a really beautiful, like ranch style house that like opens to like the backyard of a pool. I'm envisioning
yeah.
this. This is like what I'm getting. But then also has a place where we can like go on hikes and
Mhm.
you know, go out to some nature, but we
Oh,
could
yeah.
also come back, and I'm also envisioning like a chef.
Oh my God.
Someone to cook us some good
Please.
meals.
That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
So anyway, I'm in the it's percolating in my brain.
All right.
I've got everybody on board.
We're putting
I've
it out
got
there.
everybody on board.
Yeah.
So I think that would be really awesome to do
Yeah.
like next summer.
That would be. I'd love Sedona.
It'd be
It's a
like a good
beautiful
trip.
space, the nature, the
I've
energy
never
there.
been.
I went once and we stayed at a mid-century house with a pool, but it was during winter. And you're surrounded by nature. Anywhere you go, you can walk for miles and all
That's
these
what I'm
cool
feeling.
trails.
A
and stuff.
mid-century vibe with a pool.
Yeah, yeah. It was beautiful. I'd love to go back.
All right. Well, we're gonna put that out there, and hopefully
Yeah.
everybody can get it together in a year.
I'm sure they can.
and save some time to do that.
Okay.
So you had a good experience.
Yes.
Obviously, I drug you back here to do this after show. But you and I have talked about like down the road doing some other things. I think one of the things that Peyton said in her comment was, you know, I'd love to see you guys discuss like deep, I think she said like darker topics or something like that. And I think there definitely is, like in season 2, we're going to be talking about work. And then I would like to get to a place where we dive into some family dynamics, but I feel like I have to warm all of, not you necessarily, but like the rest of the family up to be able to come on here and talk a little bit. And we are going to dive into community. I think that the idea of the podcast is to focus on positive, like strength building things that we can do. So there aren't, I think, too many dark places that we could go, but I am working on some episodes around grief because I think we've all lost people in our village. And I think that understanding how to lean on our village during those times of grief is really important because, and how our village can show up for us without being asked to, because I think that's also super important. And I get texts all the time from my friends. I think because maybe I've lost my dad or I've had a lot of loss in my life.
I've texted you about that a few years ago.
And so a few people have texted me when someone else has died and said, like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And, you know, the short answer is there's really no right or wrong thing you can do. But there's things that are easier. So I think we will tackle some of those topics down the road. So I think that's probably I guess that could be pretty dark. That's like the
That is
it's like the darkest. But so I am very appreciative that my village came together to lay the foundation for this like first season and really give us a jumping off point to explore lots of other aspects of our villages down the road.
Well, I'm happy to be a part of that. And I think that'd be really interesting and important to cover. So
yeah, I think it's something everybody can relate to. I mean, everybody, if you haven't lost somebody, you will. And so I think whether it's your time to listen to it then or to circle back at a different point in time, it will be there.
Yeah.
So I think,
that's sweet.
It's kind of good to have.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So, and then one of the things that you and I spoke about on your episode was getting back into reading.
Yes.
And I'm still working my way through Harry Potter's. But you and I decided, you sent me, I think, like an Instagram meme or something of like the top books of 2025 or 2026 or something like that. And I was like, oh, we should start like a book club, like just you and me, though, because it's like really hard to get everybody's schedules together. And quite honestly, I don't know that many people that, would be in a book club or that I'd want to be in a book club with. Right. So, so you suggested this first book, Ikigai.
Yeah.
Right.
Ikigai.
And it is like a Japanese philosophy on longevity and happiness and fulfillment in life and finding your purpose, really. And so we both read it. So I thought maybe we could also like, the after show / like first book club, first thoughts on the book.
Right.
What I found super interesting, especially reading this right now, is how much, there's different aspects that they point to the book on what it focuses on the blue zones.
Yes.
But one of them is Okinawa. And that's where this mainly focuses on. And I've seen lots of documentaries on the blue zones and the diets and all of that before. So I was familiar with the concepts in the book. But one of the things that just kept popping out to me, especially relevant to this podcast, is how much community and celebration and relationships really play a part in these people being able to live like into their, to 100 and beyond. Yeah. And so many people living. Right. And not just living, but being vibrant and active and actively participating in their life and their community into their hundreds.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this book was written by two people from Spain that loved Japanese culture, and the guy went on to live there for 20 years. And then they traveled to Okinawa, and he said that within Okinawa, there's 17 communities, and within those communities, they all have committees, and they celebrate birthdays, and they put, bring town festivals together and stuff like that. And I'm like, that is so sweet. And they said at that birthday celebration, they're celebrating 4 birthdays, and the youngest one was 83 years old.
Yes, and I pointed that out because it
was my favorite part.
So this is like very official, my tags. But where was that?
It was like,
here we go. So it was the birthday party. And one of the things they talked about is like celebrating and dancing and really, I think some people get older and they're like, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. I don't want to celebrate it. I don't want to do that. And these people are like, we are celebrating together everybody's birthday, and we're going to dance and we're going to smile and we're going to really enjoy being around each other. So I thought that was super cool. And then what was it? I thought of it like they have their own little HOAs.
Oh, they have like
about the groups. Where was it? Connected for life. So, let's see. Set monthly contribution to the group. So they come with like, there's a fee that they have to give, but this contribution also helps make them feel like they are contributing. But then also the group, if they can't meet that contribution, will come with like, and help them.
They can volunteer.
Like, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it gives them a feeling of longing and support, gives the individual a sense of security, and helps increase their life expectancy. But in this community, they share best practices and they help one another cope. It started as like a harvesting, like to help them, because all of these people garden.
Yes, all of them have their own
All
gardening.
of them have their own gardens.
Yes.
And so because they say like you have to work with your hands every single day.
Right.
You have to be doing something and working with your hands. And so the garden is like a great way to be involved in nature and doing all that. But I thought that was so cool that they have common interests. They look out for one another. They have to show up and like contribute to it.
Right.
But I thought that was very cool how they all have their own. And it just made me think, like, especially today, like even with our neighbors, like who's trying to meet their neighbors? Like nobody. Someone knocks on your door and you're like panicked. You're like, who is that? What do they want? Oh,
I know.
if my neighbor's here, are they going to complain about something? You know, we're
sad.
we're so conditioned to believe that if someone knocks on your door, it's like terrible.
Yes.
Like, go away.
I don't ever answer.
Yeah, we
look at our ring
when we're driving.
You look at your Ring camera before you answer your door. But no, that's a really good point. I think it's just the Japanese culture is so special. I think that's why I wanted to read that. And Okinawa, it was so cool. They said it's basically like an island, and it's surrounded by like tropical fish and stuff. And there's a forest, and there's like sprites, and they like pray to these like gods in this forest, and it's very spiritual too. And they said that the women in this like country or this like island, they have more spiritual superiority over the men too.
Yes, I liked that.
So I thought that was really like funny to read, and it goes beyond just food and exercise is what I'm trying to say. Like it's like everything in this like little area. And I want to go visit this year. We're going back to Japan. I think we want to try to go visit Okinawa because
that would be amazing. What do they do, I wonder, when new people come to visit?
I don't there are tourists. It's like a whole fish. It's like Hawaii of Japan. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
They have like these, you know, things that like these pillars.
Right.
And one of them is like nurturing your friendships every day. Coming together with my friends is the most important ikigai. We all get together here and talk. It's very important. I always know I'll see them here tomorrow, and that's one of my favorite things in life. And so they really appreciate one another.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking too, like, what communities could I become a part of here? You know, I think we just moved back, or moved here. Lee moved back and you guys moved back. And I feel like, you know, it takes a while to get settled, get everything in your life sort of together. But one of the things that this podcast has sort of sparked the idea for me to do is like reach out to, I think there's that like artist space down off Main Street that does pottery. Now, I'm not really good at pottery, but maybe they do other things that you could get involved in. Or, you know, you and I had talked about planning something with like the local farmers market and doing something like that next year. So just different ways that, because it is a small-ish enough community here that I feel like you could, if you wanted to, get involved in something.
We can make your own Okinawa here.
Yeah.
This is our ikigai.
Yeah. We could like make it. So it's just got me thinking, like, you know, how could we do that here? Or what could we get involved in? And just start thinking about ways that, you know.
And food and conversation seems to be a common theme and a love that we all share. So I love that we're doing the podcast space, the farmers market space, dinner party, like
I'm bringing
kind of combining
them together.
that. Yeah.
Well, and then, you know, I know summer's coming up, so you guys are going to be cooking a lot of good food for us, which I'm super excited about.
Yes.
And maybe at some of those dinners, there's ways we can, not like tell people what to talk about, but maybe we can spark some ideas of some thoughts. Dinner topics and different things. Now that we're all sort of comfortable with the idea of getting together in these dinner parties, but really having like a theme or a game or something that can get us all conversing about something meaningful or something we can take with us. And I think I told you and Jake, I think that you guys should have like leave a note for the chefs or something like that. Like a jar where people can leave like a note of gratitude or of kindness or something like that.
Not that the chicken's overcooked.
Yeah, not anything, which it never is. Jake, your chicken is never overcooked. Very juicy, Jake. But yeah, I think
That's a sweet idea. I love
yeah,
that.
something like that to give back to you guys. I think that you can read later or do something with. Because I think we all feel that way, and I know we say it on the way out, like, "Oh, that was amazing. When can we
Right.
come back?" But yeah, just I think there's maybe other levels that
That's
can be
true.
reached by all the hard work that you guys are doing.
That's sweet. And I didn't realize we are doing kind of what they're doing in the book. Like
Yeah.
that kind of made that realization right now, because we just love, I think, like, again, going back to our cultures and our roots, just like that Mediterranean lifestyle of like just, cooking the freshest produce and just getting them together with a glass of wine. Like it's just as easy as that. It doesn't
Yeah.
require more than that. But
Well, I really enjoyed the book. It was a very easy read. So if anybody is looking for information on the blue zones or on longevity, or there's a lot of things that I took the cover off because it kept falling off. But Ikigai by Hector Garcia,
which is the #1 most translated book that was originally written in Spanish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Well, it's super good and it's practical. There's lots of ways to de-stress. A lot of things they talk about in here that could be really helpful, and it's a super easy book to read.
Yeah.
There's pictures at the end, so there's
It's not a
something for
picture
everyone.
book, but
yeah.
there are pictures.
Well, I really, really enjoyed having you on the show. Oh, I do have to say too. So one of the things, I feel like we are talking all the time.
I know.
With either on Messenger or on text or at family events. And we have lots of different like side conversations going all the time. But you guys turned Lee and I on to that LOL show, that British show.
Oh my God.
So
you loved
freaking
it?
funny. If anybody is looking for, so the world is like feeling a little heavy and chaotic right now.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things you're really good at is setting boundaries for yourself. And like you just did a social media cleanse.
Yeah.
And you're really, really good at doing that. And you and I have had a lot of time to sort of sit and talk about the things going on in the world and try to understand what's going on from different perspectives. And so I really appreciate that. And you're really good at that. And then the other thing you're also really good at is finding a lot of humor out in the world. And so I am, I don't have a whole lot of time to watch TV, and I can't read at night. So I'm like reading during the day because reading at night puts me right to sleep.
Right.
And so I'm always looking for that like 30 or 1 hour like thing that I can just not heavy. We're not like going to the ER, like my friend wants me to watch this show, The Pit. And I'm like, no way. I cannot watch that. I can't deal with
I don't watch any drama shows.
I can't watch that. I can't watch trauma.
Just sci-fi and comedy is
sci-fi.
Is
I can definitely, yeah. And the comedy. And so I started watching Community.
I love that
show. So funny. And then you and Jake turned us on to the LOL, like it's like Last One Laughing or something like that.
Try not to laugh. Yeah,
Try not to laugh, or Last One Laughing, a British show. It's on Prime. It's absolutely amazing.
You loved it, huh? Season 2.
Yeah, we just watched season 2. I think we watched the first episode and maybe half of the second one, and then we went
like, back and watched the first season after.
Funny?
Oh yeah, it's just as funny. We love Bob Mortimer. I think that's his name.
I didn't know who any of those people are, except for Diane Morgan, who did the Kunk show, which I thought was hilarious. But that show is so.
Oh my God, we were crying, laughing.
It was so funny. It's so awkward. That one guy, Sam, though, like the youngest one, I can't watch him.
He's good. He's my favorite from the beginning. Like, I like this guy.
He makes me uncomfortable.
He's my type of humor.
Oh my God. He just makes me so uncomfortable.
He was just being him. Saying? You know that, right? Like, that's just, seems like
I've never watched. I feel like I have to go back and watch a lot of these people stand up now or different things just to get their idea. Yeah. And then when they have to do, it's a show where they're trying not to make each other laugh
for 8 hours.
And they're comedians. And then when they break, they all just like laugh so hard.
Yeah.
But they're trying not to like laugh. But one of the things that they each have to do is perform like a skit or something and I've only seen, it's called The Joker. And I've only seen one of them, but I about died. I was like, what the hell what am I watching? And they're all like, the comedians who are sitting back are like, oh no. Oh no, don't. No, I
Oh
can't.
my God.
Because it's ridiculous.
I think the funniest part is like they're trying so hard not to laugh that comes out as like this like war cry.
Yeah, and then they all have these
And I'm like-
faces that they try to make. They're like biting their
they're
teeth.
yeah, it's just like and she's just like, I don't know what happened. It just came out of me. She's like, that was me laughing, and they're like, it sounded like someone was dying.
And then that one lady, they're like, what's wrong with your jaw? Because she's like trying not to laugh by keeping her mouth like this. And they're like, it looks like your jaw's broken. And they're like, which is funny in and of itself when they're
Oh my
watching it.
God.
Anyway, so
I'm
if
gonna
anyone's
start
looking for
crying
that,
again from that because
it's so good.
that is such a good show.
It's
yeah,
so
I'm glad
good.
you guys watched that.
I think that I'm really looking for TV that is just like going to make me want to pee my pants. That's
and
like
you're
where I'm at in life.
Community and this show. That's
Oh my
perfect.
gosh. So just before we go, because I feel like I could just talk. I feel like I'm just talking
Again,
to you.
This is a new podcast.
So when the guys when you guys are all playing WoW, the last time that I didn't join playing, but Lee was putting like Lucy to bed, and so I came down and I just put on his headphones so I could listen. And Jake and Brian were doing like weird impressions. But they were only for like a second. They were like one line. And I was like, but then Jake got embarrassed to do it and then he wouldn't do it. And I was like, what's going on? And then Brian did it.
Yeah.
And so for some reason that just stuck in my head. And that was like months ago, right? That was like a while ago.
It was like a month or two.
Yeah, a month or two ago. Well, I started watching Community and then just the first season. And there's a Halloween episode where the one guy dresses up as Batman. And the whole episode, he's like, I will save you. And my voice is hoarse. I've been practicing for Jake and Roya.
That was really good. Oh my God.
He's like, I will come out of the night. And I thought,
Oh my God.
I have to get on WoW. I have to get on Discord. And I have to do this voice for Jake and Brian.
God, they would love
so maybe
that.
they'll hear it.
Yeah.
But that was for you guys.
Oh my, thank you.
And
That
he's like,
really.
it's so good, right? And the whole episode, and then at the end, he finally gets to like save everybody. And then they're like, Batman, will you stay? And he's like, if I stay, everyone will die. And I just like love it.
Oh my
So
God.
anyway.
Which actor was it? Trust
It's
us.
Abed.
Oh, I'll bet. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh my
he
God.
He dresses up as Batman.
Him and Donald Glover were like,
Oh, I love
them two
Childish
together.
Gambino.
Yeah.
I love. And
I know.
so to see him.
yeah, I started listening to his music when I was watching that show. He left this show and then he started his project. It was like a whole thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that was really, really funny.
So I knew his music, but then I had seen, I never watched Atlanta except for
that's
this
a
one
really good
crazy
show.
weird episode.
Oh, was it the one where you?
Yes,
the
like with
scary, weird one.
It was the one with the guy who like kind of looked like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's an interesting episode to start
It's
off
a standalone
from.
for sure. You don't have to know anything that's going on in the rest of the show of
Yeah.
Atlanta. But that one episode was like circulate. I think Josh showed it to me. He's like, you have to watch this episode.
That was Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole, he was him.
He was
yeah,
acting,
He was
yeah,
acting
yeah.
like him. And Josh, I think, introduced me that. He was like, this is the most
Oh my
ridiculous thing
God.
I've ever seen. And and so that was the first time I ever saw him in anything acting, actually.
Wow.
But Community, was that the first thing
He was just before his music career.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he was like
and
a writer.
I love how at the end of every show, him and
Troy and Abed in the
yeah,
morning.
they do all these little skits and all this stuff. Anyway, Community. You should watch it.
I love that.
It, right?
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, so I hope Jake and Brian watch this and listen to
They
this.
will. They will. I'll
They
make
will.
them.
That's for you. And I don't know, that whatever they were doing just stuck in my
It
head.
was a Snape impersonation.
It was which I never even heard. Like I've never heard it. So you guys are up. Okay.
It was just
tag
like-
you're it.
I even
need to hear the
forget
Snape.
what the word was. I think it was like, what does he say? Never or forever?
No,
Something.
I don't know, but it was it was literally one word.
Always. He kept saying always,
Oh.
like in that deep Snape voice, something like that.
Well, that stuck with me. So there you guys go. That's for you. Well, as always, it's been a pleasure. We could
Yeah.
sit here
I
shooting
know.
the shit for
I know.
hours.
We should just talk about
I already tried.
shows.
So, usually after Roy and I record anything, we go out for drinks. And because usually that's the day that I shower and wash my hair. So I'm
Same.
like, somebody's got to take the hair out. Right. And so I mentioned that to her when she got here and she's like, well, I think Jake wanted to take me on a date. So I've already tried to be the
I think we
throuple on the
actually all
date.
4 of us might go out tonight if
Maybe.
Chris can watch
If
Lucy.
we can get a babysitter. Which I know Jake loves us crashing all of his dates.
Mine.
Anyway, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This is always fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting the show and for supporting me. And I just I feel so lucky that you and I are not only like I consider you a very close friend of mine, but also that we're like sisters.
I know.
Which I think is very cool. And I think that we're really lucky to have that relationship. And I think we're really lucky to have that.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way. Thank you for giving me a voice and a platform. Like, this is not in my comfort zone, so I appreciate you pushing, like putting me out there and having me and all the love you've shown me. And I just want to give that back and support you. And thank you for being a part of the family and bring everyone together all the time and doing this project. I think it's so super special. All my friends love it. Everyone's behind it. So I'm excited for more.
I know. Season 2. So we're going to do some Father's Day stuff in June. And then season 2 comes out in the fall. So
yeah, oh my gosh,
I'm excited.
It's around the corner.
And then for our family listening, you have like a year, before I come knocking at your door. But maybe your dad and mom will come.
Oh my gosh, they can talk for even longer.
Maybe by then we'll have a set where we can have tea and cakes.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
I can bring some stuff.
Yeah, we'll do on the floor.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, thank you again.
Yeah,
and thank you to everyone listening and supporting the show. And if you aren't subscribed to the YouTube, follow, subscribe so you don't miss new content coming out. And just thank you again for all the love from everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye. If this episode inspired you to reach out to someone or make a new connection, we would love to hear about it. Please send us a message or drop us a comment on our Instagram at Village in Progress Podcast, or you can drop a comment on our YouTube channel at Village in Progress Pod. And if you would like to hear more of our episodes, please subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe and follow wherever you listen and watch. From our village to yours, thank you so much for listening. Keep connecting, growing, and let's build something meaningful together. Talk to you next week.